Hello, I'm Bernard Kaufman, and this is a making of video of how I made DM-Octagon, my UT map of the week for my personal project. I started off with paper. I like the idea of starting around an area, a room based around an octagon with several gameplay paths. I drew that first, and then I added separate rooms to the north and to the south, as well as to the east and the west. The east and west contain bio rifles, and the north and south contain link guns, at least in this earlier stage. It changed a little bit based on playtesting. So here's a fast forward to, I'd say, about an hour into the project, where I'd already made the central octagonal room, and I started blocking out the side rooms using subtractive brushes. I started with just a massive octagonal primitive that was something like, I think it was like 100 meters in radius, and I just used subtractive brushes to start burrowing out. Here I took a reference from a previous map that I had made for a test. I don't have it on my website, but I have the file on my computer, so I used that as a reference for the actual dimensions of the space that I would be using. And here's me adjusting the central room based off of me looking at my old map as a reference. And after I got that done, I started to block out the side rooms. Here I'm blocking out a room that has an octagonal area in the middle with a powerful weapon in it. I started with just an octagonal block brush, and then I took a subtractive brush out of it to just make a donut and get some additional gameplay in there. Next, I blocked out the 4 major rooms and started adding some details. I wanted to block out the rooms and get a sense of their gameplay first before I started to link them. I didn't want to link rooms that didn't have complete gameplay, because if I had to change a room's gameplay based on something in playtesting, that would cause a cascading series of adjustments throughout the entire map. And I always try to iterate my levels throughout development, but if I can avoid having to throw out 10 hours of work with a simple fix that could take just 2 or 3 minutes, I will totally do that, especially if I'm on a team environment and I'm short on time. So I blocked out my first hallway in the upper left there. Oh, something I realized is that I had I forgot that my face cam was on, so you get to see sort of how day and night pass by over the course of this project over several days. At this stage, I started taking some screenshots and orthographic views to just document how far the map had progressed, and then I started blocking out some of the other side rooms. Here I'm blocking out a room with a rocket launcher. And then I added some simple navigation volumes and some simple light mass importance volumes so that I could build the map and internally playtest on my own, just to make sure that AI knew how to move and that areas in my level were accessible. I found some gameplay elements that were way out of bounds doing that, and I moved them back in, just the kind of like sanitation that I like to do before I get external playtesters to come in. And then I started adding actual gameplay elements such as weapon spawns, elevators, jump pads, health. I spent about an hour or so doing this, and I really wanted to make sure everything everything fit and like flowed together within the map. After that, I started really blocking out and doing some work on the corridors, which had previously been a little bit neglected. They were essentially just big, long, wide rooms linking other things together. Then I textured the map, and something that I may not have footage of here is that I gave the central area different textures than the rooms on the periphery, so that people would know and just have a general sense of the navigation. It would always give them a sort of central room that they could use to orient themselves in the map. So if anybody's played DM Deck, you'll know that every room on the side has a path linking to the main room with the acid pit at the bottom, and I definitely used that as an inspiration for this map. I textured this with more of a sci-fi feel, and the area around it with sort of like an abandoned industrial sort of feel. And then one thing I realized after internal playtesting was that the map lacks some verticality, so what I did was I made a ring in the central area above all the other action, and gave some jump pads and elevators from the external rooms to link into that room. That gave the map some nice verticality and created an additional level of gameplay. Nobody spawns up there, but if a player has a good mental image of the map and they get up to those places, they can really get a tactical advantage on other people. And it's pretty fun to shoot down there on a rocket launcher. And after some little internal playtesting I did, I edited the layout of the map in preparation for conducting a bunch of playtesting, which I'm going to do right now. Thanks for watching.